How's it going, everybody? It is Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone has had a great evening tonight, despite the disappointment of the result at Stamford Bridge this evening. Leeds United losing out 3-2 at Stamford Bridge. A late Conor Gallagher goal was the decider in the end, but Leeds United can definitely hold their heads high after a very, very good performance down in London this evening. Just before we get into it, make sure you are smashing that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware of when I'm uploading and going live. And of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions into the comment section down below. So yeah, Chelsea obviously will now face Leicester City at home in the quarter-final, a tie that would have been very good for Leeds should we have got through this one tonight. Obviously, the lineup was interesting. We saw Liam Cooper come into the side. Connor Roberts made his first start for the club. We saw Mateo Joseph lead the line with Perot in behind him and Jadon Anthony come in as well. And Ampadu and Gray was the midfield. So, yeah, the lineup wasn't a huge surprise. I expected a few of the changes to be made. But when you looked at Chelsea's lineup, again, not having a good season in the Premier League and coming into this on the back of a cup final defeat. But you look at the players they had individually, and it was just levels above ours. It really was. But Leeds United did take the lead in the opening 10 minutes. Weird on ITV how it was showing a replay from something that happened in the build-up. And then it came back on and the ball was in the net and I was going ballistic on the watch along. Mateo Joseph getting his first competitive goal for the club. And what a moment to get it, to put us 1-0 up at Stamford Bridge. It came from a defensive mistake from Chelsea, which we forced due to a very good press. But I did feel, though, that once Chelsea equalised through Nicholas Jackson, there was a bit of a drop-off from Leeds United, naturally, because once Chelsea equalised, and it was a good equaliser from Nicholas Jackson as well, a well-worked goal from them. I think Meslier should probably do better, if I'm being totally honest. He is quite vulnerable at his near post, isn't he? And he was guilty of that once again tonight with that goal, but it was a good worked goal in the build-up, so you can't really argue too much with it. But once they scored, they really got their tails up in that first half and they started to really show their quality. Leeds United were struggling to keep hold of the ball for large spells of that first half, and it was a bit frustrating to watch. I don't think we're actually playing that badly. I just think Chelsea were initiating more of a press and they were putting us under a lot of pressure, and it really did start to show. But the second goal for Chelsea to make it 2-1 was definitely avoidable. I thought Ethan Ampadu was caught ball watching he kind of let Mudryk come into the box unfazed to put that ball into the net. And in the build-up, no one tracked the run of Raheem Sterling as well and give him acres of space on that right-hand side to whip the ball in for Mudryk to put into the goal. And, at 2-1 going into it at half-time, you were thinking, yeah, Chelsea are really starting to grow into it now, and it could have been maybe 3 or 4. That's what I was thinking anyway. That might be me being negative. And in the moment, I feel like you think differently to when you think about it after the fact. But let's be honest, guys, in that second half, I thought we were by far the better team. We were more dominant. We had a lot more of the ball. We were creating chances. We were really putting Chelsea under pressure. They weren't in that game at all in the second half. And that's not me being bitter about it, but they weren't. I thought Leeds were by far the superior side in the second half. Like I said, chance after chance. Good on the ball. And Archie Gray, I mean, let's just speak about Archie Gray for a second here. 17 years old in midfield, and it was like his playground out there in that second half. You're coming up against a World Cup winner in Enzo Fernandez, £100 million. Moises Caicedo, 115 million. You've got Conor Gallagher that came on, a very good player in the Premier League. Cole Palmer came on, Sterling's in the midfield, Mudryk's in the midfield, and he's coming up against these quality players, and he didn't look phased whatsoever, controlling that midfield alongside Ethan Ampadu, who I also thought had a very good game. But yeah, Archie Gray ended up getting player of the match from ITV. I would have personally given it, though, to Jadon Anthony, who I thought took his opportunity really well tonight. Mateo Joseph obviously equalises to make it 2-2 in the second half. 2 goals for him, his first 2 competitive goals for the club. I thought Joseph had a decent game when he was involved. I thought, some nice touches, some good passing, and obviously he took his goals really well. But Jadon Anthony really took his opportunity tonight. Obviously, the assist for the second goal was really getting at their fullbacks, trying to create things. Good, nice link-up play with Junior Firth in the second half as well. Thought Rodon and Cooper were okay. I thought they were fairly solid. I do worry about going into the Premier League potentially with Cooper and Firpo on the left side of defence, but it doesn't look like Cooper's getting offered a new deal anyway, so we probably won't need to worry about that. I thought Connor Roberts and Dan James were okay in the game as well, but Yoel Perreault, once again, just non-existent. And when he was involved, he was giving the ball away time after time after time, and it's a real shame for me. I really wanted to sign him in the summer, and I was buzzing when we got him. He's a real enigma because he's scored 11 goals, which is a very good return. But it just doesn't seem to be working in this system, does it? It really, really doesn't. And it is a shame. I don't know how we're going to sort that issue out, but it really does need addressing. But yeah, I feel like that was the only negative about tonight, guys. Like I say, Chelsea made it 3-2 just as the clock hit 90 minutes through Conor Gallagher. Nicely weighted ball through the middle from Enzo Fernandez. Nice touch out of his feet from Conor Gallagher and a very tidy finish as well. To make it 3-2, I think Conor Gallagher definitely should have been booked prior to that, though, for a challenge on Crescencio Somerville, but it is what it is. But yeah, like I say, guys, I always kind of had the feeling that Chelsea's individual quality would really show. And, Mauricio Pochettino will be counting his lucky stars. Those Chelsea fans will be counting their lucky stars. And so will the players. They will be relieved and they will feel like they have got out of jail there. Because if one team was going to look like winning that game in the second half, it was us. And one very brief lack of concentration has allowed them through on goal to make it 3-2. But let me tell you guys, I am very, very proud of the boys that played tonight. Showed great character, good level of maturity, and to have matched a very decent Premier League team for the whole 90 puts us in good stead for if we get to the Premier League. Obviously, additions will be made if we get to the Premier League, but that team that played tonight wants to hold their heads very high for a very, very solid performance. Very, very unlucky and, disappointing that we didn't manage to see it through. But there is no shame in losing that game tonight because I thought we were brilliant for the majority, especially in that second half. Like I said, if one team was going to win it, it was definitely going to be Leeds United. And I am gutted, but you know what? We're out of the cup now. We're out of all cup competitions and we can focus on the league. 3 important league games upcoming over the next sort of week and a half. And there'll be plenty of content over those days to cover those games, guys. But really do appreciate everyone that has watched this video. If you haven't already, make sure you're smashing that like button. It does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe if you are brand new to the channel. Hit the notification bell and, of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions into the comment section down below. And we will be live on the channel tomorrow evening for the last say, where I'll be getting all your guys' thoughts on tonight's FA Cup defeat. Like I say, guys, hold your heads high. Brilliant performance tonight. And we move on to Huddersfield on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.